Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Mesa City Council study session for July the 3rd. Councilmember Winkle is absent and excused. Council members Glover and Whitaker, I believe, may be on the phone. Gentlemen, are you present?
This is Jeremy.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I think I heard two different voices there, so welcome. The first item on our agenda for this meeting is to review the agenda for tonight's council meeting, so please take a look at that document. First few items are liquor license applications and purchase contracts under agenda items 1 through 4. And then 5 is taking action on various resolutions. Mr. Thompson.
Mayor, I'd like to go ahead and have item 5B pulled from the agenda and brought back for the July 10th meeting. That'll give Mesa PD and AZ, the applicant of AZ Man, to work together to develop their policy or whatever they're wanting to do to move forward. So it allows them some time for that.
Okay, do we want to specify a date certain for that to come back, or should we just give some flexibility?
Well, it has to, the grant deadline is the 14th. So if it doesn't come back by the 10th, then the grant goes away.
Okay,
And we'll let the council know if it's not ready, if it doesn't make it and why, but
Okay.
if we're going to do it, it has to happen on the 10th.
okay. So for now, item 5B is just off the agenda, period. Not just off the consent agenda, off the agenda.
Yes.
Okay,
And then, Mayor,
yes,
also
please.
5C, we'll also need to pull that one. There was a clerical error on that one, and we have an address change that needs to take place. So we'll just push this one to July 10th also.
okay. So I think, Mr. Christopher, you got that, right? 5B is pulled entirely, and 5C, well, also, both of those are continued to July the 10th. Moving on, agenda item 6 is receiving public comment on various ordinances. And then we did have on the, off of the consent agenda to conduct hearings on annexation cases. That would be agenda items 7A and 7B, but both of those are being pulled as well.
So just some posting and notification issues. We will make sure we've done those correctly and that the surrounding neighborhoods are aware of what's happening. So we'll make sure we get those notices done. I suspect those will be beyond the 10th. It'll probably come back in August.
Okay. So we have a relatively short agenda for today as a result of that. Any questions or concerns about the meeting upstairs? Gentlemen on the phone, any questions or concerns about tonight's upstairs meeting?
No questions.
Okay.
None here.
Great, thank you. The next item on our agenda for this meeting then is item 2, to hear a presentation and provide direction on the proposed audit plan for fiscal year 2017 and 18. Jennifer Ruttman, I know, is out of town, but we are excited to have Tammy Stedman from the auditor's office with us. Tammy, thank you.
Well, thank you, Mayor. That's kind of you to say, and I'm
bet.
honored to be here and to have the opportunity to present to you and the council, and I thank you for that.
You bet, thank you. We're looking forward to hearing about the auditing plan.
Okay. I am here. I'm Tammy Stedman, Deputy City Auditor, and I am here to present the proposed fiscal year 2018 audit plan, answer any questions, and incorporate any suggestions you may have for changes to the plan prior to its approval. I would like to briefly go over the plan and highlight just a few things, but please, of course, let me know if you have any questions or would like me to explain anything further. There are essentially 4 sections to the audit plan: current work in progress, new and exciting audits, follow-up reviews, and other activities. This slide shows our current work in progress, which are the projects we have going on right now that are in various phases of our internal audit process. For example, the Community Services Contract Monitoring Audit. We have presented a draft report to the department, and they are working on their response as we speak. So we anticipate issuing the final report by the time council returns from the summer break. These are the new audits we propose adding to the plan this year. The first 2 contract monitoring audits are actually carryovers from last year's plan. The employee benefits contract monitoring audit was intentionally held over as the city was actively procuring a new contract in that area. And so when that contract is in place and effective, we'd like to take a look and verify that effective monitoring processes and controls are in place over that area. Some of the other areas of emphasis this year will be procurement, development-related revenues, and relationships we have with nonprofit organizations that support specific city activities or venues. There are 7 follow-up reviews on the schedule this year in addition to the off-duty program follow-up already in progress. And just one thing, it's important to note on follow-up reviews, we don't actually follow up on our recommendation, but we follow up on the department's response and their commitment to an action plan. So when we actually go out to do the follow-up review, whatever changes the department has made, we verify that that has resolved the underlying issue that led to the recommendation in the first place. These are some of the other things we do throughout the year which don't fall under the other categories of an audit plan. We do a continuous audit of cash handling citywide. We've been doing that for a couple of years now. And basically, we pop in unannounced and count the cash, verify that the custodian is who it's supposed to be, that the cash is physically secured, they're making deposits timely. Basically, we're just out and about making sure things are going as expected and that people know we're out there. We do the PCI DSS annual review. That is the Payment Card Industry's Data Security Standards. And our role in that annual review includes going out to departments that handle credit cards and taking a look at their departmental policies and procedures and verifying that they are in line or in compliance with the industry's standards. And those are always changing, so we're continually taking a look at that. We also look at the individuals that handle credit cards and credit card information and just verify that they're adequately screened and trained in that area. Our office oversees the Fraud and Ethics Hotline and conducts any necessary investigations that may arise from that activity. Believe it or not, sometimes we receive unsolicited calls from departments requesting our assistance, limited reviews, data analysis, help with new policies or procedures they're trying to implement. So we're always happy to help when departments seek us out as opposed to us seeking them out. And rarely, but occasionally, we have unscheduled audits, audit emergencies that may come up, which may be some timely thing that the mayor or a council member or city manager, city management, executive team would like us to take a look at, or sometimes even when, like, one of our neighboring entities finds themselves in the headlines for reasons they don't want to be, we may just do a little audit on that area just for peace of mind, just to assure everyone that that can't happen here at the City of Mesa. Oops, you know what? I forgot to do some of these. Anyway, that in a nutshell is what we do all year. It doesn't seem like much, but it keeps our little department busy, and there must be more to it than meets the eye. But anyway, at that point, I would be happy to try and answer any questions you have.
Thank you. I think Mr. Freeman was anxious to ask a question, and so is the Vice Mayor, so we'll start with.
I think I'm scared to ask the question. You might investigate me.
No, she did work for us.
Oh, okay, that's it. So I know this is internal ethics and fraud investigation, is that correct? So if somebody out in the city, our constituents, were to call in and was concerned about ethics or fraud concern, is there a hotline that we have to call in?
Our number handles those calls, and if it's something internally that we can investigate or look into, we do that. If we need to contact some other agency or department, we let them know that.
And so then a follow-up to my question, then if a constituent has a concern about some ethics or fraud in the city, is there a hotline they can call?
Mayor and Councilmember Freeman, I don't know the answer to that.
It's the same number?
I mean, we do,
Okay.
because we do get those kinds of calls.
we put it out everywhere.
Okay.
Not just internal.
I just have a constituent, she's very concerned all the time about that, so I just want to be able to answer her appropriately. We'll give her Tammy's hotline then.
Bring it on.
Will
Well,
do.
It might be good to say, what is that telephone number?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Good, thanks, Gary. We have magnets, we have pins.
Well, I know years ago, it used to be like a 1-800 or one, kind of a special number that was anonymous. You could call in anonymously and
Well,
request.
there is a website, www.speakupmesa.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
and you can find it.
great.
information.
That answers my question. I made that note earlier.
It is a 1866 number. It's 1-866-820-7812. Toll free, 24/7.
And Mayor and Councilmember Freeman, I just would like to add to that, it is filtered through a company, so we don't know. It is truly anonymous. When we get the reports, this company has screened it and taken out whatever information they don't want to have published.
Thank you, and I'll get that 1-800, 1877 or 1866 number. Thank you.
Thank you. Great presentation. I just had a question on your leverage. When you go to a department and you evaluate that there's a discrepancy, it needs to be corrected, what happens if they don't correct it? What kind of leverage do you have, and what happens as a result of that?
Well, Mayor and Vice Mayor Luna, we report that as our finding, and we say that the department has respectfully disagreed with us, and we bring that to the council, and we bring it to city management, and let you take it from there.
So I'm assuming most of the departments have been compliant and follow your advice. And
Mayor and
because I
Vice
have,
Mayor
ever
Luna?
since I've been on council, I've never heard of anyone coming to us. So I'm assuming city management takes care of it.
Mayor and Vice Mayor Luna, we don't have a problem with that.
You make it sound so easy. It sometimes takes them a little bit longer than it probably should. So that's the Audit and Finance Committee gets a lot of those reports. And Jennifer and I meet regularly, and so she briefs me. We meet, and we have a database that tracks all of the audits and the findings in the city manager's office, and then between our office and Jennifer, we keep those updated so that we can make sure we're trying to follow up to make sure departments are on schedule with their responses. Now, what's the interesting thing too is when the city auditor goes through and before they submit the report to the council with findings and recommendations, they've reviewed those with the department. So it's not like that they don't know that that's happening. So they've kind of, in effect, been given a heads up and are supposedly, the idea of there's a conflict is known even from the very beginning. And there could be theoretically philosophical differences about how things could take place or whatever, but typically those audits are done and the departments are, from the beginning, on the front end, are also participating in, or at least acknowledging the recommendations are important to be followed. And then they're given some time to follow those up, and then those reports are brought back to the subcommittee also.
Mr. Glover or Whitaker, you have any questions regarding the presentation?
No questions. Thank you, Tammy, for all your work.
Thank you.
I'm good.
Thank you. Well, I also meet regularly with Jennifer, and I assume that the council does as well, because as was noted earlier, this is an independent auditor. This is somebody who does not directly report to Mr. Brady, but rather is hired by and accounts to the council. So that's the independent nature of it. So that's good to know. As a city government, we want everyone to know that we're transparent, and that if there are concerns by city employees or people outside of the city organization relative to suspicions about improper activity, that this is the office that is charged, that has been created by a voter initiative to look into those in an independent fashion. So to me, I'm very grateful for the work that you do because it, again, adds, I think, a lot of credibility to our organization to have some, an independent auditing office that works with all of our departments to make sure that things are above reproach. So thank you for the good work that you do. And the number, if you don't mind, I'm going to say it just one more time. And again, if there's a disgruntled city employee or a whistleblower or somebody that wants to get something off their chest, please call, right? It's 1-866, is it up on the screen? 1-866-820-7812. We're not afraid of people complaining about the city of Mesa. We want to respond to those questions. Tammy, thank you. Great report.
Mayor and council, thank you. Would you like to make any changes, amendments, additions, deletions? It's all good to go? You approve it as is?
Yeah, I think Jennifer has met with us
Right.
independently. So we've seen the presentation, and I think we concur with what your priorities are for the next year.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Next item on our agenda is item 3, appointment to boards and committees. Is there a motion and a second? Thank you, Mr. Luna. And Mr. Thompson, all in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Any opposed? That's unanimous. Item 4 is to hear reports on meetings and conferences attended. Council, anything you'd like to share with us? Hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item 5, which is to schedule future meetings and general information. Mr. Brady.
Thank you, Mayor. We want to make sure everyone knows that they're invited to join us tomorrow for the Celebrate at Republic Services Arizona Celebration of Freedom. So we invite everybody to come down. It's a free event. It's labeled the state's coolest festival to celebrate America's freedom. It'll be tomorrow, July 4th, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. It includes not only the area of the Mesa Convention Center, which, by the way, the air conditioning is working just fine there, so invite everybody to come. There's also the Mesa Amphitheater. There'll be concerts. There will be bands there. We have a cool zone with lots of misting fans, and we'll have the Mesa, one of the most popular activities is the Mesa Fire Department will have one of their spray trucks there to spray the kids. So we invite everybody to come out. It should be a great event. We'll have the 108th Army Band will be there playing patriotic music. The Salute to America program will begin at 9:10. It will feature patriotic music, and it'll be followed by the fireworks extravaganza, which we believe will be about 9:30 p.m. tomorrow. Also, one of the really remarkable things, and I know, Mayors, you've been part of this, is there will be a naturalization ceremony by the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services at 7 p.m. in the Mesa Convention Center at the Centennial Hall. There'll be 158 new U.S. citizens representing 38 countries that will be part of that ceremony tomorrow. So that's really exciting. So anyway, we thank all those who are sponsoring the event, SRP, Valley Metro, Stacy Wetbeck, and Sunt for providing there'll be a trackless train running around the celebrations tomorrow. So it should be pretty exciting. So anyway, come on down. It'll be a cool event.
That's the right way to describe it, isn't it?
Cool.
Just to underscore, the naturalization ceremony at 7 o'clock, if you haven't been to one of those before, that's really a neat way to celebrate the 4th of July. I promise you'll get a tear in your eye, and you'll get choked up, and it's a whole new way to rekindle your patriotism to see that event. So if I would encourage as many people as possible to come to that event at 7 o'clock in the convention center. And then again, the fireworks are free. Huge fireworks display, 9:30, so very family friendly, very inexpensive. Please come and support the event tomorrow night. Any other scheduling of future meetings or general information from the council or anyone else? All right, hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
We will have a study session on Thursday,
Okay.
review the agenda for the 10th. It should go pretty quickly, though.
Okay, great. There's been a motion by Mr. Freeman to adjourn this meeting, and Mr. Thompson has seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned.